Okay, all right, motion carries, thank you. Okay, I'm live, that's not a problem, but I'm live every day. Yes. Stephen Crandall's giving me a, they already put on. Okay, I will tell you, there are a lot of slides and a ton of pictures. So I'm gonna tell you to buckle up and hang on, because we're going for a ride to Singapore. Okay, here we go. All right. Getting there. My best friend Michael and I went together. So you see him here. You're going to see him everywhere on the slides. So anyway, I told him he had to come so he could defend all the funny pictures I put in here. So we left on Monday, May 20th from Norman to Dallas. Spent the night there Tuesday through the 21st, as well on Wednesday, Dallas to San Diego, and San Diego to Narita, Japan. Then from there we went from Narita to Hong Kong, and Hong Kong to Singapore, and we finally made it somewhere on the 23rd. Okay, so here's our experiences on the way. We were all smiles when we started, right? Full of excitement. Then we got to San Diego. That was not a very long layover. So we left for Narita, Tokyo, and you can see by my seat, it was not first class bookings, Michael.
Oh.
No, not first class. Okay, so what we ate on the way to Singapore. Everybody wants to know all about the food we had and everything. So that's how the plates came, wrapped like that, and then 3 squares, dishes. So on the way over, really good for the most part. I'll get to the part where it wasn't good. So we had a beef and a chicken, probably the best meals we probably ate on the plane maybe. And then oddly enough, they served really, really frozen, very frozen ice cream, and then green tea with it, so I thought that was interesting. And then somewhere in the middle of the night, they served us breakfast, which didn't seem right, but it was breakfast. So then we made it to Narita, Tokyo. I have so many slides, so I'll try to go through a few of these pretty quickly until I get to Singapore. So Narita, we went to we couldn't make it all the way into Tokyo because of how, I must have been, hold on one second. Yeah, okay, they got it backwards. All right, everyone. We got to Narita, and then we got into customs, and we stood there for over an hour and a half in the sweltering heat. I wasn't supposed to take that picture. Thank God I still got it out of Japan. And then we got to our hotel, had this really nice package. My husband travels a lot for work, and so we had wonderful, wonderful packages at all of our hotels for where we stayed. So thanks, Matt. I say that a lot. Then we got cleaned up, because we've been traveling for hours and hours and days and hours on end, and went downtown Narita since we couldn't make it all the way to Tokyo because the trains were stopping before we could have gotten there and back that night. And so we toured around downtown. It was kind of a small, quaint downtown, but I showed you some of the shops. They definitely had the vending machines. You could get ice cream out of the vending machines, you could get sodas out of them, you could get coffee out of them, you could get all kinds of things. That next picture is a tree with I just thought it was odd that leaves just grew on it randomly, not at the top, so coming out of the trunk. So I thought that was interesting. The next picture is, I know they're going to be hard to see, but it's very interesting foods that you could have ordered at this particular restaurant that we did not eat at. And then that's mixed in by some statue at a garden. So go backwards one slide, I did that wrong. We did go to a very authentic sushi restaurant. They didn't speak any English or really help us much. They did give us an American menu. So sweet. And then I got sake because I wanted to try that, and he got a beer, and it's called a generosity pour, and it was definitely that. They put it in a box, and then they pour it, and they pour it, and they pour it, and they pour it, and they keep pouring it until the box fills. And so your cup and your box is full, and then we had to look up the proper way to drink that. I'm being told to move. Okay. Sorry. We looked up the proper way to drink that, and you drink it normally, and you drink it out of the box when you're done, or you can pour the box into the glass. That was a new trend. That was very real sushi. It was definitely not any Americanized sushi, and I wouldn't say really it was my favorite, but it was good. So, fast forward to, all right, got excited there. We had some more drinks and beverages out of vending machines. That's a few pictures of the hotel, because really we got in very late and left very early the next morning. But that sunrise picture is actually 4 a.m. when I randomly woke up. So I looked outside, and that's what the sunrise looked like at 4 a.m. in Narita, Japan. So then we saw that is our breakfast. We got a breakfast to go from the hotel, and our breakfast was a sandwich with chicken salad, ham, and lettuce on it with chips, yogurt, and banana. Interesting for breakfast. And then there was, in the airport, I thought it was really interesting because they had the real, the old school version of, see, this is where you're supposed to build it, dating times, like when everybody's leaving. So, arrivals and departures. I thought it was interesting. Okay, well, we were off to Singapore, but we had to stop in Hong Kong. So, this was not such good food. Okay, the first meal you see, I'm going to talk about for sure, because they told us it was chicken and rice. Well, we had chicken and rice on the way over, and we thought that was really delicious. So we were like, oh yeah, that sounds great. But it was supposed to be breakfast, and it was like grits and very mushroomy and runny grits. I'm from South Georgia, and that was not grits. Let me clarify for you. Singapore grits and South Georgia grits are not the same thing. But anyway, it was pretty hard to digest. Then later we're like, oh gosh, we're famished. They were serving curry on a plane. So can anybody guess how tasty that was? But the food well way over, like we said, was so good. We were like, this has to be better than breakfast. It was probably the worst meal we had the whole entire trip, for sure. That seafood curry really sticks with you. I don't recommend it if you do fly overseas. Do not get it. Pick whatever else or skip the meal. Anyway, and they serve it with broccoli. What a bad combination. Anywho, this is the only picture I have of Hong Kong, because that's all I saw of Hong Kong. So, and then we were in the airport, and then we were out. Oh my gosh, we finally made it to Singapore. So this is us flying into Singapore. This is pictures on the airplane, because when we got there, it was actually dark. I can't remember how many days we've been traveling, like 3 by this time. The bottom picture on your bottom left is all the ships in the ocean. I know it's really hard to see, but I'm really sorry I was on a plane and Michael wouldn't get out of the way so I could take the picture. You'll see another picture like this, but there was hundreds of boats just sitting, carriers sitting out in the ocean waiting. That's when you can't get your shipments from Amazon and stuff, that's where it's sitting. So, this is the Singapore airport. Now, I had a dear friend that went to Singapore last summer, and she was only there for 48 hours. So when you see all the things we did, we went by her very detailed itinerary, and we got a lot done. But she also toured the airport, which is also fabulous. But when we landed, we were very ready to get to a hotel, and so we didn't really tour it that night. And then when we left, it was 12 a.m. in the morning, so everything was closed. But they have a butterfly garden, they have waterfalls, they have all kinds of things at the Singapore airport. So it is a tourist attraction itself. Well, we made it to our lovely hotel. Again, thanks, Matt. My friends hear me say this a lot, but the hotel was amazing. We got upgraded to a suite, thanks to my husband, and we had this humongous extra space. We had twin beds, yes, that's the point. But we moved the beds apart. I'll take this picture, and it was hard to explain. We were it was super funny. Thanks for traveling with a friend. And then our bathroom was luxurious. Yes, a rain shower, bath, it was amazing. And had to have a Mai Tai. He's an old-fashioned kind of guy, so he got an old-fashioned. He still likes the one at Winston better, but that Mai Tai right there was $30. So drinking there is very expensive. I'll talk about more about that later. Yeah, did not really get that intoxicated in Singapore, trust me. we're in Singapore now. That breakfast does not look like a normal breakfast, right? Because it's not. But if you know me also, I put the coffee and the cappuccino in there because if you know me, I do not drink coffee, ever. But, I mean, I was in Singapore, I had to wake up, I had to go explore, so I had coffee, so I added that in here. But there's, top left picture has a fried egg, and their version of scrambled eggs, they're very loosely scrambled. Very interesting. And then they had these buns on the menu every single day. And then the same picture, but at the bottom of that picture was what they call carrot cake. It looks like worms, but it's not worms. It was noodles. That was also an interesting experience, but you'll see I definitely went out there and tried new things a lot. You'll see some more of that later on. The bottom was a little bit more normal of a picture for breakfast because I had to get some American type things to eat too. The public transit was amazing and super clean. So I took pictures of that. I know you're like, why did you take a picture of transit system? But it was so clean and it was like this all the time. They don't allow you to eat or drink on public transit. You'll get fined. The durian, the really stinky fruit, you cannot take it on public transit. You have to have lids on everything. It's pretty crazy. So that's our first day outing. And the first place we went to was outside. At a major garden, so let me get to that. If anybody's interested in seeing all the flowers, I might have taken 1,000 photos, so I dumped it down a little bit for this presentation for everyone, not to bore everybody. But it does say mornings you could see a monkey and, what's the other, an otter. I think they said that just to make us look for them, because they were nowhere. And that was really upset. That was the most disappointing part to Michael of the whole entire Singapore Botanical Gardens and National Orchid Garden was that there was no monkey or otter. Oh. So I took some pictures of lots of things, but some of this were interesting plant growths. I'm not into plants, I'm really sorry. So if this is common folk to y'all, that's great. I'm really sorry to bore you with it. But this plant up top left grew in a circle. I thought that was pretty interesting. The bottom left, I mean, that curly Q thing, I don't even know what it is. Then you have this fern growing down, and it's kind of, I don't know, unique. It kind of looks like Jurassic Park area to me in this section. And this tree on the top right where I'm posed, where's the skirt? Look at that. Anyway, is very interesting. And then the tree trunk, I mean, it was dots and then it was not dots. It did not tell us what country it was. So there's more of this. Couldn't just take pictures only of me. We had to have Michael in there too, so let him feel welcome and included. But even in the bathrooms, you wash your hands in the bathrooms, and you're at the botanical gardens washing your hands coming out of the bathroom. So I thought that was very unique, and no AC that I was looking for, but thanks anyway. I tried. Some more pictures of the gardens. I'm telling you, I just love the orchid garden. We'll get a little bit more on that in a minute, but just walking through everything, it was amazing. Just everywhere you turned, there was something new to see. Some of these plants, of course, I've seen before, but lots of the plants I had never seen. I like the one on the bottom left, and then on the bottom right is a feather plant. So it looks like a feather, and it's actually pretty thin. So it's not very thick at all, but it's very hard. So that was interesting. For somebody that doesn't like plants, I was enamored by all the things to see that were botanical related in Singapore. So National Orchid Garden, if you think those are small, they're very large orchids right there. So I tried to only show a few, so we could get on to other things, but there were some of my favorites. I like the multicolored ones, the purple ones. That was the top right, the picture plant. You're supposed to help with these things. So we're still in day one, so we spent about 3 hours in the botanical gardens and the National Orchid Gardens. Oh, it's so hot. Then we got back on the public transit and got to Chinatown. So they have these things called hawkers centers, Hawker, and they're basically food courts for Singapore, and made in 8x8 space over and over and over and over again. This is where the locals eat. They do not eat out in the restaurants. They eat at these places. Meals were $5 to $6 US, and we tried some stuff. So we were at stall 116. That's the picture on the bottom left for you. We got pork and duck. We both loved it. We devoured it. It was good. We tried our sauces. And then I said, oh, I'll be a little bit more adventurous and go try this tea over here, because, I mean, we're just drinking water by the gallons, but it's not staying in us. And tea was not so much, but anyway, it was uniquely not good. We could have had ginseng soup, but they also had like fish head soup. They had other things. I wasn't that adventurous at the moment, but I had a good meal. So then we're still touring around, going through Chinatown. This is very interesting. I wanted a chili crab the whole entire time. I never got one. But anyway, yeah, okay. And I'll sit on that at the moment. So buy one crab, get one beer free. Well, a crab was $80. So the deal was not a good deal. That was a lot. So, I mean, they also had, what was the beer deal that you went to?
Buy one beer, get one beer.
Yeah, it's not, you know, anyway. Yeah, that word's weird. Anyway, my friend had also lived in Singapore for 4 months, and she told me I had to try this kind of waffle. It was very hard to find. Pandan waffle. I thought it was really good. She said to try it with peanut butter, so I did. It was tasty. It was grated, clearly. And then, if any of you know about Anthony Bourdain and Michelin Star, it was in the same hawker center as where 1010 Chicken and Rice is, where Anthony Bourdain went, and it's the first Michelin star in Singapore. I did not eat from there. We had eaten already, so I did not find that. Okay, and we also toured some temples while we were in Chinatown. So we went to the Hindu temple, which is on your left-hand side, and then we went to the Buddhist temple on the center and the right-hand side, and they had 100 Buddhas, so you could, there was little chalets that you could buy 100 coins and say a prayer and go and drop a coin in for every single Buddha. So we also went back to our hotel, and these were views from our hotel room that we can see during the daytime now. Because of the perks of my husband, thanks again, hubby, we got to go upstairs to the executive area and get a little bite to eat. We were not very hungry. We didn't want a full dinner. So the fountain is Fountain of Wealth, yes, for Sun City, and she actually spoke at a Rotary Club. The vice president of Sun City spoke at our Rotary conference. So anyway, it's 4 fingers and then like one smaller building, the 4 tall buildings and one smaller building, and then that fountain in the middle. And underneath that fountain is actually a food court, and you could walk into the fountain. I never made it over to walk into the fountain, but I think that's pretty neat. So you can see part of the, what I call a Ferris wheel and some other things, and then that bottom left is the same picture as top right is nighttime. So we're still on day 1 in Singapore. So we made it to Marina Bay Sands and the Garden of Trees. At night they changed colors. They changed their music up, but this one went to the waltz. So the light changed according to that. Marina Bay Sands is the famous hotel in Singapore. It's been in Crazy Rich Asians and some other things. And then they also have a rooftop bar. So it's called C'est La Vie. So I took a picture of it because it's super famous. And we went up there, okay? So this is inside one of the towers on the bottom left, is inside Tower 1, and we went up to Tower 3 and went out and looked. So it cost $35 to get up there, and one, it could go towards your food or beverage when you got up there. Well, that's really good because one beverage was $47. So, I thought I'd be smart and get a double the next time because I wanted one more drink, and it was $58, so I don't think that was any better. But the views were amazing. Okay, so we finished up, that was all day one. Day two, we went to the Singapore Flyer. Is the third largest observation wheel in the world, behind Dubai and Las Vegas. I'm scared of heights, but this did not bother me because we were in a capsule the size of a small bus. So it stands like 42 stories tall, 165 meters. So it's very large. You can see Indonesia and Malaysia from the top of the tower, top of the wheel. And there are some of the ships again, some other views we saw. It was gorgeous. We went early in the morning and we got our own capsule. It was amazing, but it can hold 28 people per capsule, and there's 28 capsules. So somebody do that math and figure out how many people can hold. A lot at one time, but we were lucky. So a few more views, and the arrow there points out where the convention was. So Marina Bay Sands was on the left, far left, and then kind of across from it are these three coverings. One of the coverings is, or 1.5 probably is, a humongous mall they have, and part of their casino for the hotel, and then the rest of it is the convention center. It was the largest space I've ever been to in my whole entire life for a convention, for sure. 6 stories, rooms everywhere, ballrooms everywhere. You'll see some of that in a second. They had signs up to welcome our Rotary International Conference. I thought that was really neat. And we ate some sushi that I was much more familiar with and enjoyed much better for lunch. It rained almost every day in the afternoon, so we had to wait out the rain. Michael didn't bring good shoes. I don't know. We'll talk about that later. So we went to go see the famous merlion, so mermaid and lion together from Singapore. I had to drink out of the fountain. Just kidding. And then the Fullerton Hotel used to be on the old post office, so we went there, toured around, walked some. That's across the pond from where we were. I forgot to mention that building that's kind of like a flower shape is a science museum. I did not get a chance to go to it, but I wanted to, just ran out of time. Okay, this is the mall I'm talking about that was inside that covered area. Real retail therapy, not for me. So my credit cards all got shut off probably about the time I walked in the door. Those watches were like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, just kidding. Everything there was super expensive in all the stores. Everything was high end. And then down at the bottom, you could see there was some interactive like floor format, and a humongous food court at the bottom. There was gondola rides in there as well. The dome outside of the building is the Apple store. There's a Louis Vuitton store. It's way above my price range. So then we went over to the Gardens by the Bay. Cloud domes, you saw them in some of the pictures. These are some of the highlights of going to the Cloud Bay. Where am I? Okay, 10 minutes, I gotta hurry. So this welcomes you to the Gastro Beach welcome party. So this was the hosted event opening night. It rained that night. Some of the best food we had is in that cup right over there. And they had an assortment of foods, bands, stuff like that. And that banh mi Michael was eating, said it was really great. He's not paying attention, so that's good. Then we explored a little bit more. My opening session wasn't until the afternoon. We got assigned when you could go to things. So here's the convention there. Rotary Convention opening sessions. It was beautiful. It was amazing. It was inspiring. I got chills when they came out and welcomed us. It was very rewarding. And the sensation in the room. And I'll just give you a hint. There was 20,000 people there. Oh my God. It was so big. It was so big. So that's why they assigned you to do things, because this room alone held 7,000 people per opening session. So I was in there with 7,000 of my closest friends. They had an amazing opening sessions of dragons and everything in Singapore. They did the flag presentations for each country. And then our president spoke. I met people on either side of me. We had acrobats from like Circus Soleil. It was really great. And then this Caleb Scott was also part of the opening ceremonies. He was Britain's Got Talent winner. And the bottom right is my friend Emmanuel. He's from Nigeria. He actually bought me this top over here. I have some swag that y'all can look at after the meeting. We became really, really close friends. I met him crossing the street. So anyway, okay, well that's out of order, but that's okay. Anyway, that night I had dinner with some friends from Pets, and I took a picture because there's broccoli. They did not have vegetables there, so I was very happy to have vegetables, but we had to request them. Okay, this is the picture I've been waiting to show y'all. That picture is a century egg, so it's been buried underground for a really long time, and its outside is very gelatinous. It's black. Yes, that is not a misfire on that. That is really a black egg. It was interesting to eat, but I ate it. So Michael wouldn't even try it. Liked it. It did taste kind of like a hard-boiled egg. Okay, so sharing the light with the world. Okay, so the bottom, right, is 7,000 people again the next morning for conference, opening sessions and stuff like that, opening meetings. So there's tons of meetings, I'm gonna tell you my highlights in a few minutes. I know I'm running short on time, if somebody has to leave, I'm sorry. I'm going as fast as I can. Told you I would buckle up and hold on. So my calendar was full every day. I mean, every time there was a session, I was somewhere, or I was down in the House of Friendship meeting people and doing stuff. I was trying to get close to the president and that top picture. I tried lychee. Here's some different things we're going to implement this upcoming year about trying to onboard your new members and what that looks like and how can you do that best and that sort of thing. So then we also, I went to, Tom's not here, is he? No? Okay. Well, so this is Tom's friend Scott that helped do the water project in Bolivia. So he was there and we finally met on day 4. So it was really crazy. There was a donor summit and I finally connected. It was wonderful. Once I connected with him, he connected me with lots of other people. But these names up here, these titles were people that were speaking at the donor summit, and you had, it was a special foundation event, and I definitely wanted to go to it. Y'all know I'm a big fan of the foundation. So, but I mean, they were world-renowned people that were speaking, and it was phenomenal. And it was a very small crowd in comparison. Maybe 400 or 500 people got to go to that, compared to 7,000. Then they didn't have an event that night. If they had an event, you had to pay extra for everything you went to, because how do you feed 20,000 people at one event, right? So I went exploring with my new friend, Courtney. That's her in the picture. We went to Raffles Hotel. That's sure Raffles. That's where the first Longmore, where the first Singapore sling was made. I did not get one there though. Then the next morning, or lunchtime, we went, to Little India and had the best food we had the whole time. It was, the restaurant was phenomenal, the restaurant owner was phenomenal. Anyway, we saw lots of things in a little amount of time for sure. We saw some pork floss and some barbecue pork. I'm not real sure what pork floss is, but I definitely ate some. I got these jade earrings and necklace. We were out shopping. Tasted some funny, interesting ice creams and teas, and that durian fruit. I don't know about that stuff. So then after lunch and a little break time, went back to the conference, was meeting with other people. I got to meet President-elect. I got a picture with the President of Rotary International. It was super exciting. I also got President-elect Stephanie. Stephanie? You're rich. I know last name, sorry. And then this was the Inspiration Hope Dinner. This is probably my most favorite part of what I did the whole entire time. It was very inspirational. This was a very special dinner. 200 people maybe max went to this. And it was a dressed up formal event. And after long days, that's hard to do. But I met my new dear friend who is a good friend of Ron's, Patrick now, and he is a phenomenal gentleman and very inspiring, and I was very humbled to randomly have been sat next to him and had the opportunity to meet him and get to know him. And then my new friend, Annie, she's from Uganda, so it was just awe-inspiring. I kind of can't say more than that. At the moment, President-elect's luncheon the next day, I got to meet Mario somewhere in those pictures. I got to meet him. He's the president when Liz McCown was president. And Tom, some of us have met him before. Anyway, that luncheon was very nice as well. Then we had closing ceremonies. Hey, y'all recognize that guy? I told you to make my presentation on. So I also think the graphics and everything they did were so bright and bold. They sang opera. We also had, they talked about the magic of Rotary, which is the theme for my year. And they had real red hot chili pipers, not the peppers, present and play. Then there's Calvary. I've already signed up. Have y'all? Okay, so some of this I went over, some of it I haven't. I can hit it really quick. Truly humbled and inspired to do by doing more, by doing less. Can we produce a literacy program with another country like Africa? Let's make it happen. Membership is an issue in many clubs around the world, but we have tools and ideas to grow our membership, and we'll work to grow ours through mentorship, fellowship, and possibly associate clubs. I'll tell you all about that soon. Overall, we're above average with our service projects, our website, and our social media, but there's always room for growth. They discussed doing less and making more of an impact. Foundation, oh wow, I was super impressed by everything they had to say about the foundation and the presentations and the speakers, and the people and the connections were absolutely priceless. I highly recommend, I have chills talking about it because it was so rewarding to be there. And then I was definitely a tiny minnow at first, and it was a sea of 20,000 people, and then I became a dolphin, and I started socializing with others and finding my way, and I did just that. So we did a farewell dinner with some of our friends, tried the fruit. I saw the pool, but never made it to it, so I took a picture. We came home. This is our flight home. It wasn't so bad, but probably by the end, there he was on his phone, and I was trying to walk. Not much talking. And then I made it to Dallas, and we had heavy rain, but my pups were happy to see me. And if you wonder what my husband was doing this whole entire time, he was also on vacation, and he went to Minnesota, went fishing, and had the time of his life.
I know we're about out of time here, but let's